Hi, I'm Ali and a warm welcome to the Ceramic Repair Studio. So I thought in today's video I would show you how I'm actually going to fix the lid back on from this sweet little teapot here, which is blue and white, and it's a Burley teapot, which I think they're based in Stoke-on-Trent, a pottery there. And they did start at around 1851, so Burley's been going a long time. Now, unfortunately, the lid has been broken and it's in three parts here, as you can see, and a smaller part here. So I'm just about to glue it, so I thought I would just show you how I would glue on a teapot lid. So let's get going. Right, so here we are with our lid to our teapot here. As I say, it's in three sections. Now what you will need is some glue, and I do like to use the Araldite slow release, so we're going to use some of that, a cocktail stick, and a lid I collect bottles of all sorts of bottle tops, and they're really useful for putting glue in, and also when you're painting, mixing paint. So a bottle top. Now you don't have to have some of this, but I do tend to use titanium dioxide powder, usually when it's on something which is slightly more white based. So here obviously we have a white teapot, so I'm going to actually add some of the titanium dioxide powder to that. So what we need to do first is make sure that we are on a nice flat surface. I've laid some kitchen roll out, so we're protecting the surfaces. I also have a piece of kitchen roll with some water just to wipe off any surface glue. And the other thing which I have forgotten, where are we? It's just here, and that's some Scotch tape. Just so once we've actually stuck it back together, we actually do need to sort of secure it with some tape. I prefer Scotch tape to sellotape because it doesn't leave such a residue of glue. So first things first, let's just take our little lid, and I'm just going to add, we won't need too much, and you just need literally 50 of one part and 50 of the other. Now this does tend to take around, doesn't take very long to dry, well it's probably 24 hours, but the longer you leave it the better. I like to leave it a good 36 hours, so it really does harden and dry well. Lid straight back on, and then I'm going to take the other. Now I do prefer using a slow release glue when I'm doing almost, you could say, multiple breaks, because it leaves time for wiggle room, so you can keep going back to it and adjusting. Whereas if you used a glue which is going to dry very quickly, once it's dry you can't actually move it around and make sure it's too tight enough. That's it. So it's better to have a slow release glue to use. So once we've got our glue here, I'm just going to mix it together, and you can see it starts to go almost like a cloudy colour, and that's when you know it's nicely combined. Now at this point I'm just going to add just a little bit, as I say, you don't need to, but it's a little bit of titanium dioxide powder. Now if you're mixing some of this powder, obviously if you mix too much in, you're going to then compromise the glue and the glue will become weaker. So we only need a little bit. And what this does, it actually stops the glue from going yellow. It doesn't matter so much if you're going to paint your item afterwards, but I may or may not be painting this. I might just leave it as they call a museum repair, so you can actually see where it's been broken. But it's better to have something white if it does become exposed, rather than having something which is going to go a horrible yellow colour. So once that's nicely combined, we're then going to take our piece here, our pot. As I say, I like to sort of adjust and see where it needs, where all the pieces fit, and I can see this bit, it's going to be tricky because it's at the bottom there. So I'll probably put these two pieces together first and then make a little way for this section. So when you're gluing, again, really important, we don't want to be gluing two sides together. If you glue this part and put it together, it will want to pull apart. So we only glue one side. So I'm going to glue just this side. So we're going to take our glue here, and with the cocktail stick just gently go over. Now you don't want to miss any areas here on the break. You want to make sure it's all the surface has been taken up with the glue. You don't want to put it on too thick, otherwise you're going to have more hard work with it squidging out. But again, you know, if it's too fine, you may not cover. So first of all, if you just put the glue on and just cover the area, like so, then once that's done, you can then, I'm just going to put that here, just get a sort of clean cocktail stick, or just clean your cocktail stick and just go through it again, just to make sure you can get rid of any surplus pieces of glue. Also, if you've missed any parts, any sort of sections, you know that it's going to then have the glue on it as well. Obviously, the finer it is, the tighter fits you're going to get. So once we've done that, I just want to take our piece, and then we're just going to gently push it together. I'm then just going to take just a couple of pieces of the tape. Once you've got your tape, if you just fold it slightly, when it comes to taking the tape off again, you know, you are going to find where the ridge is, so that makes life a lot easier. So I like to hold at one point and then pull it to the other piece, broken piece, so to make it nice and tight. So I'll just do a couple of these first, because we do have the other section to put on. So again, hold down, pull and place towards the teapot. Then I'm going to go from the inside here, and as you can see, we do have some surplus glue which we can wipe over afterwards. So now I'm just going to have a look. So I'm just going to put the glue on this side. So again, we just gently apply the glue. Now, if you live in a warm country, you do have the advantage of the glue actually sort of becomes thinner, so you do get a tighter fit. You could put your piece in the oven, but I don't like to, because to be honest, most ovens are full of grease, and you don't want any grease on your item. So if you can just try to make it as fine as possible with your cocktail stick. Now, the other thing I would say is that obviously this is a teapot lid, and which is all very fine for cosmetic looking uses, but once your lid has been broken, you cannot use it again with hot water, because obviously if I put hot water in here, put the broken lid on, once it's dried with the glue, it's going to compromise the glue, and it's going to soften the glue and break apart again. So unfortunately, this is great for cosmetic uses when it's on this shelf, but when it comes to usage, you won't be able to put the lid on with hot water, unfortunately. So we're going to take our part, and we just need to slightly, maybe open it up slightly and adjust, and click that in. That's gone in nice and tightly. At this point, I'm just going to take my piece of damp cloth, and we're just going to wipe any surplus glue off. I'm just going to do that lightly here. Because it's such a tight fit, I probably won't need to put any sellotape. I might put it on in a moment, but first of all, I'm just going to wipe any glue. And just be very careful so it doesn't break in the hand. Right, I think that's okay there. It just makes life a lot easier. If you left the glue on, you'd have to take it off when it dries, and that would take a bit more time, and you don't want to scratch any original. I can see here it's actually missing a piece as well. If you can see here, so I'm going to have to add a little bit of extra there. So again, once we've got our piece, I'm quite pleased with that. Again, I'm just going to press and tighten, and again on the other side, any surplus glue at this point, you know, you could leave it for 5-10 minutes, take off some of this, and then just tighten again, wipe off more glue, and then if there's any, and then apply some new tape. At the moment, that seems okay. I'm just going to take one last piece of tape, just so I can fix it on, where are we? Piece which was broken, which was just, gosh, it's such a tight fit, can't see now. Oh, just here. So again, I'm just going to hold on one piece and then just gently pull and then put that together, and then we can just leave that to dry. Again, you can keep coming back to it and just adjusting, make sure it's tight, make sure there's no ridges and it's nice and protruding. Again, if there's any surplus glue, wipe. A really good idea is, when you are testing, is to actually close your eyes and feel, because then you can actually feel if there are any ridges. If your eyes are open, it's harder to judge, but if your eyes are closed and you can feel, you can actually tell if there's any ridges and if you need to slightly adjust your item and your glue. So there we are. Our lid is nice and glued. We're going to leave that for at least 36 hours. I do have other videos on gluing, missing parts, so I'll put that up as well. And again, please subscribe, like and share, and a big thumbs up. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Okay, bye.